Good afternoon. This is the State of Delmarva with Murph and Martinez. Give us a call at 1-855-SOD-FOX21. All right, this is like something out of a movie.
Yes, it is.
It is. Exorcisms. All right, there is a small church right here on Delmarva, and they say that they have been performing exorcisms for years. And now you can actually take a class if you'd like to learn how to perform an exorcism. WBOC's Mike Chesney has the latest for us.
The Lighthouse Church has been doing exorcisms for a number of years, according to Chris Gore. Gore says during the past year, the church opened things up to the public.
We got into the exorcisms trying to help people to feel better about themselves, trying to help them have a closer relationship with the Lord.
Now they're planning to teach people to perform exorcisms themselves.
We really feel right now at this time that we need to train other people to do this work. We want to give them sound biblical doctrine. We want to give them sound biblical teaching and even practical exercises on how to cast spirits out of people.
Gore says the way his church sees exorcisms is not the way the average person might think of.
We see things on TV with, the movie The Exorcist, and by and large, most people don't have that extreme level of demonic activity. But there are those who experience hurts or traumas, say if you were divorced and that divorce was particularly hard. There can be a level or a demon of bitterness that comes inside of you that keeps magnifying those feelings and those emotions over and over and over again.
The Catholic Church is most commonly associated with exorcisms. We called the Diocese of Wilmington. Officials there wouldn't comment on what a non-Catholic church is doing. They said as far as Catholic exorcisms go, though, at least one priest in each diocese is trained to do them. They're very rare and very private, and there's a lengthy process undertaken before performing one is even considered. The idea of teaching people to do exorcisms had some people we spoke with feeling skeptical.
I don't think that exorcism in itself is fake. I do believe that there is a spiritual world, but I don't think it's something that you can just teach.
Maybe they feel there's someone that needs their help, but I think the help should be found somewhere else. I think it should be found in the church, but not in that way.
We asked Gore what he'd say to skeptics.
Seeing is believing, experiencing is believing it, and hopefully they never have to go through those traumas that these people have endured.
Okay, I don't want to see it. I don't want to experience it.
Do you want to take a class on it?
No, I don't.
Now, he says that it will help people, it will bring them closer to the Lord. He also says that this is going to cast the spirits out of people.
Yeah, I heard him. I know what he said.
So many people out there, possibly, I don't know how many, but maybe they feel, that they could benefit from this.
What do you think? 855-SOD-FOX21. Is this something we need here on Delmarva? Pat in Georgetown?
No, we do not need that.
We don't? You don't feel that we do?
No, because I'll tell you, they are not trained by the Catholic Church or trained by a professional exorcist, because it takes years to become an exorcist.
Pat, I do agree with you there, but again, I mean, it's not just strictly a Catholic Church sort of thing. I mean, the practice is actually ancient, and it's part of a belief system that goes across many cultures and religions. There are a lot of different ones actually believe in this sort of thing and actually do practice it. So maybe there is something to it, but I do agree with you though that it's not anything should be taken lightly. And if it really does exist and it actually does happen, I would imagine it would take a long time to learn how to do that sort of thing properly.
Yes, because you have to study underneath a priest for many years to become an exorcist. Because I've done a lot of reading up on it, and it's not lightly. They could do more harm to a person or put a demon inside of a person if they don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
And how much is the classes? And how long are the classes?
Those are good questions.
I did see that they're going to start on, September 12th, I believe.
Coming
and it
up.
looked like, 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay,
and
Pat,
they're going to do it every other week.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We will move on to Donna in Millsboro. Donna?
Good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hi, Donna.
When I heard this last night, I couldn't stop laughing first. Second of all, this is ludicrous. You cannot teach this. This is something that is left up to the professionals, meaning the priest. There are, like you said, a lot of different cultures that do believe in this, but they have their own doctors that take care of things like this. And I'm also insulted by the Star of David hanging up there. Judaism does not believe in this. So I am very offended by that. But otherwise, I think this guy's crazy. I think
now,
he's
when you
possessed.
hear him say, you know, this isn't anything like you've seen in the movies, and, you know, people are going to compare this to the movie The Exorcist, and he says, you know, what if someone has gone through a divorce and they have some spirits and demons in them of bitterness that they just cannot release? You know, this apparently will help them.
That's not demons. That's their own guilt.
Okay, so
And if
maybe
they
this
can't
is...
and you want to get closer to God, you don't go to an exorcism for that. You go to a church. You go to a priest, a minister. You don't go through an exorcism.
Okay. All right, Donna, listen, thanks for joining us. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And maybe this is just more symbolic than anything else. Daniel in Salisbury, what do you think?
Donna, I mean, look, we can't even pray in schools for God's sake, you know, over lunch. I don't believe in it.
You don't?
And I grew up in the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in it at all. I mean, they won't let you say grace or nothing, you know. But they're going to have this in a school.
But Daniel, listen, the Catholic Church, I mean, they believe in it.
I don't believe in it.
Well, each diocese is required to have one priest, at least one trained in exorcism.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, they really do.
Okay.
And they say it's very, you know, rare. It's very private, and it's a long process, them, you know, to actually get to doing it, but it still does exist.
Yes, I want nothing to do with it, you know. I don't think the kids should be taught this either in schools.
Okay, well, now, it won't be taught in schools. As far as I know, the only place you can get taught this class is at the one particular church we just showed you. Here, or is necessary. Then, the NFL changed. Correct.
That's correct,
Okay.
yeah. Hi, I'm glad to talk to you. My first time. I'm 87 years old, and I'm only publicly spoken. This is my second time to do it, and I'm very nervous.
Well, that's okay, B. You just take your time and tell us what you want to say.
Okay. Well, I wanted, you know, I used to watch the criminal trial shows that went on for weeks sometimes. Oh, I watched them a lot. And there were many exorcism cases in those, in which, and they actually had some photographs because the exorcists who did it were so proud of what they were doing that they took pictures of themselves and the police got them. Anyhow, children have been murdered with their parents' permission, with the parents standing right there.
Oh, that's terrible.
I just
that's
can't
terrible.
believe it. I can't. It's just astounding.
So
they've been murdered by young, insane mothers who believed it was their job to kill the devil that lived inside their children by killing their own children. They believe God told them to do it.
So, B, do you believe this church, that they shouldn't be doing this then? Is that kind of where you're going?
Offering these classes?
It's so primitive. It goes back. We're supposed to be progressively more and more educated country, but there's pockets that are so backward. I just can't believe that this...
It's going. We were absolutely surprised when we came across this story ourselves, and I could certainly understand you thinking it shouldn't be going on, particularly here where we live. But thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today. We greatly.
I'm talking about this exorcism stuff. The Bible says, "In my name, you'll cast out demons." But He didn't say to go to church and learn and take a class. I'm familiar with this church, and I'm not going to say nothing against it, but somebody's went off the deep end in there. You just don't take a person off the street and teach them how to do this.
I wouldn't. I thought that was rather surprising myself when I heard it. Barbara, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.